Well, good morning, everybody. We're back from vacation. Yay! It sounds so funny considering we didn't go anywhere, but we're back. We're back at it. We're back to yeah. We're back to all the stuff we need to do. So reading through Jeremiah, I think it was 9 to 12 today, and not Jeremiah. Sorry, Ezekiel. Ezekiel 9 to 12. Reason I mentioned Jeremiah is because there were some things that here that reminded me of Jeremiah. You remember when Jeremiah first started, the first part of his prophecies, he was delivering the prophecies, but at the same time he was petitioning against the prophecies. He was petitioning for Judah. He was calling out on Judah's behalf and interceding. But it got to a point where the people he was interceding for started beating him up and throwing him in jail. So Jeremiah, he came to the end of his rope and he said, "Fine, Lord, bring it on quickly." But here we find Ezekiel doing the same thing, where he's petitioning. He's saying, "Surely not, Lord. Lord, you're not going to do this, Lord. No." And trying to intercede, but the Lord is not going to have anything to do with it, because he refers to them as a house of rebels. That's how he refers to them. They had gotten to a point that no intercession, nothing is going to change his mind on this. And it goes all the way back to Manasseh. And even though Manasseh had repented, still he had infected the hearts of the people with such evil that there was no turning back at this point. The Lord knew it, and so in comes the judgment. But the crazy thing about this is that even though it was all in front of them, even though Babylon had already attacked, had already taken so many of them captive, had exiled so many of them, had already taken a king and officials and everything else into prison. Even though the threat is there, it's imminent, it's coming, they can see it, they don't see it. They choose not to see it. And so as Ezekiel is prophesying these things, they're saying, "Oh, no, he's prophesying about things much in the future, not for today." It's right at their door. I mean, the things that Ezekiel is prophesying about is pretty plain, nose on your face kind of situation. It doesn't take a lot of imagination. It's just that the Lord is, through Ezekiel, making it absolutely clear, concrete here. This is what's going to happen. But they choose not to see it. They choose not to see it. And for a lot of us, as we look around and when we see things that are happening, for us it's so plain, it's so simple, it's so easy to see. But if you choose not to see, that's why, Jesus said, "Let him who has ears hear." Ezekiel is saying, the Lord is saying the same thing through Ezekiel here. If you choose to see, you will see. If you choose to hear, you will hear. And that speaks a lot of what is going on in the church today. Those who see things see them because they choose to see them. They want to see them. They're open to it. And those who want to stay in ignorance will stay in ignorance. I just pray that we are mature enough to accept the reality of the things around us, and not try to play fantasy with it. And the reality is the kingdom. The reality is what God says. The reality, this is the reality. And I want to live in the reality of that and not pretend. And it lends itself to yesterday's discussion about the church really being a messy place, and it needs to be a messy place. And we can't try to create this fantasy land because there are things that have to be worked through. So yeah. So looking forward to everything that's going to happen this fall. You guys be blessed today. Looking forward to our face-to-faces coming up. And be engaged today. Let the Lord use you. God bless.